than that of the women, which is ridiculous, of course. But now, again, as part of as maybe contributory or part of the problem, 1 out of every 2 women is not at all interested in marriage and is not considering it. I had 2 sisters, and I respected them tremendously, I particularly for their courage. Both are mothers, and having a background in the healthcare field, I've been through maternity departments and seen the tremendous discomfort and outright pain of delivering a baby. And consequently, I've developed and still have a very high regard for women. But I don't know what the answer to this problem is of our low birth rate, but somebody in the government needs to look into it. Somebody needs to do something about it. Or maybe men as a gender need to take a look at, what the women go through. And maybe if we show a little bit more understanding, women will be more interested in raising families. Thank you, Reed.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Well said. Men, get out there and get busy, will you? We need more kids. Huh? It's not like China where they limit you to kids. You're only allowed 1 kid. All right. We have a guest here who I don't think he believes he's ever going to get on the air, but he's going to be on the air. This is his time. His name is Tony Piscoli. Tony is a very well-known luminary in the Westfield area. He is the vice president of the Board of Ed, as a matter of fact, so he is a political person. He's the owner of Sapor, which is the one of the top restaurants in the area up in Westfield. It has Asian fusion as sort of the type of food. He is also the president of the Chamber of Commerce, and the Fredonia, I should say the Westfield Westfield, boy, I'm thinking of the wrong place. Westfield, Barcelona is a united group, and they have a tremendous, a lot of enthusiasm for the area. I wanted to bring Tony up here just to talk about some of the things that we're dealing with in terms of bringing new people in. The Chamber of Commerce is quite interested in this, and of course we have to get some kind of industry here, and we know that GM is not about to move here. We do know that we have the most gorgeous, absolutely fantastic environment here. The beautiful green fields, the woods, the lakes all around, the big lake, which is an inland ocean, Lake Erie, and it's just fabulous. And we're small communities. Westfield's just one of many who has a group who are out there working hard to bring in industry. And he is also involved with another group, which is the growth of the Westfield Development
Corporation,
which is trying to bring in people. So anyway, first of all, let's talk about you a little bit, Tony. Are you married?
I am married.
Any chillins?
I have a 5-year-old. She'll be 6 in a couple of days. A daughter named Sabella, getting ready to go into school this year.
Yeah, I got a couple of granddaughters who are going in together.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, same time. You have a dog?
I don't have a dog. I have a wonderful cat that
what kind
keeps
of cat?
the mice out of our house.
We had 5. We're down to 3 now.
We just have the one.
Okay.
That's probably all we can handle.
Yeah, well, the cat people, I met over there one time. The Westfield
Cat Rescue. Terrific organization.
What a group of people. Giving so much. And they're hoping to get a home. Let's hope that they can get one.
They're working on it now,
yeah. It's rumored they might take the old carpet factory down at the carpet display down on Bliss Street.
I think
not Bliss Street, it's on Clinton Street.
They're looking at a few buildings right now,
Right. Stray cats, somebody should love them, as well as dogs, I might add. And of course we have the canine rescue here in Westfield.
And they do a great job as well, yeah.
And all over the place. They have a no-kill policy, both of them too, if they come in okay. So you are pretty busy. How do you find time to be on the Board of Ed and the manager, owner, and schlepper at Sapor's, and to be involved with the Chamber of Commerce, where you're the president? Where do you find time for all this? What's your wife? Did you ever see your wife?
My family would probably tell you I don't, but I make the time. I think public service is a very important aspect of being an American citizen, and it means a lot to me. My family raised me to believe in that institution, and I try to give my time wherever I can. time is probably the most valuable asset, and I'm happy to do these things when I can, and I find the time to do it.
Okay. Having done some of this stuff myself, of course, I found out that probably the greatest gift you can give your community is a fire department. 24/7, you're on duty. You risk your life in several ways, I might add, but it's a gift. And when there's a fire that starts raging through the village, you've got to be there. If it's not for an immediate fire department, it's over. And if you have a heart attack and fall to the floor, boy, you're going to kiss their hands when they come and pick you up and take you into the hospital and save your life, or any other thing. So it is good. Public service is great. And if you're not a member of your local fire department, join up, I might add. They need people all over this country. Tony Piscoli is the president of the board of the Chamber of Commerce. And that's what I want to talk about a little bit, especially about Barcelona. Barcelona is kind of a totally different thing. It's part of Westfield, right?
It is, absolutely.
It's in the town, or not the village, but the town.
It's in the town of Westfield.
Town of Westfield. And it's a pretty big area. What's the space that they have there? Probably, I don't know, half a square mile or something.
I couldn't tell you offhand, but that sounds about right.
Yeah, a lot of little streets and everything. And it was once a separate organization from Westfield, was it not?
That's my understanding. I'm not the authority in the history of Westfield here, but that's my understanding. And it's an underutilized resource, and I think not enough people get down there and really enjoy it. And if you have the chance, I'd encourage you to get down there and really enjoy that area. It's beautiful.
It has a lovely beach, which
is
well used, I might add, during the summer. And some people even sneak out in the water because it's not lifeguarded. It's not supposed to be. But
that's right.
And of course, we lost a kid over there on the wrong side on the
I think we've
last
lost a
couple of weeks ago.
People there recently.
Recently, yeah. People tend to forget the fact the water's dangerous. And
it is, especially Lake Erie.
And especially if you have a snoodful. A couple of people I've seen down there shouldn't be swimming at all. There was a guy who was saved on the big beach by the pier last year. It was a year or so ago, and it was just dumb luck. He went under, and it just so happened that there was a lifeguard, not on duty, but just visiting on that beach. Lifeguard took off, ran out, grabbed, went under, swam around, found him, and fished him up, brought him out, did CPR. By the time the fire department got there, he, of course, been long gone. He was asking what happened.
Just wasn't his time, I suppose.
Just wasn't his time. Dumb luck. But my friends, be careful about swimming when there's no lifeguard there. Make sure somebody who's a good swimmer is watching you, is all I can say, because the hell of it is, you go under, it's so fast. You could go under just like that.
Oh, absolutely.
And if they don't see where you went under, it's over.
And
they'll never find you.
Never tell what the currents are like that particular day.
And it is pretty tough down there. There are a lot of undertows. I know because I lived there growing up as a child, where the Sugar Shack is now. We used to swim out there all the time. But there is quite an undertow. And you have to know how to get out of an undertow. You don't swim against it, you go sideways, guys, if you ever feel you're being sucked away. Just go sideways and you'll be out of it, and then you can come ashore.
Well, the town of Westfield has terrific plans for that area down there.
Oh yeah, what are they going to do?
If you get a chance to look at the plan online, you can see it at the town of Westfield's website. There's plans to do something with the harbor area, and they're working on getting that area dredged so we can get some larger boats through there.
They did dredge it once before, didn't they?
They did.
It's like pulling teeth, though, to get the Fed to do it.
It's very expensive.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Right.
But they're also working on, they acquired another stretch of beach down there, make it a little more family friendly, and give some area for local residents and tourists to come and enjoy the beach.
Well, the Dan Reed Pier is a masterpiece. It's wonderful. It has a big, wide, comfortable pier. And of course, they have set up break walls all around the harbor, so that basically it protects the harbor very well. And that's the reason it's called the Dan Reed Pier. You know who Dan Reed was?
I don't.
He was our last congressman, I'm afraid, who had any impact. Okay. Dan Reed was in the Congress. He was the president, or the I don't know, director or whatever he's called, chairman of the Ways and Means Committee. This is the most powerful committee in Congress, in the House, because everything that goes on the floor has to pass through him first. If he doesn't like it, it disappears. If he wants it, it's always out. So he's a very powerful guy. And when it comes to, quote, earmarks, one of his earmarks was the Dan Reed Pier in Westfield. And he got it, and it was a multi-zillion dollar job even back then, and we were very fortunate. Unfortunately, we will never have another congressman because the Vice President Cheney got on the horn, and when they were doing some redistricting, he took Chautauqua County, which was in a rural area with Cat County, and he put us in with Buffalo. We have 130,000 people in the entire county. Buffalo has 2 million. What do you think the chances are of even getting a nomination?
Easy to get lost there.
You will be swamped if you try to run for Congress by the Buffalo crowd. So as we found out, incidentally, when one of our past executives decided to try. So no more congressmen. Phone call, you want to take a call?
Absolutely.
Hey, good morning, caller. Thank you.
Good morning on this beautiful, beautiful day, and it looks like a beautiful, beautiful week to come.
It's going to be terrific.
Yes, it certainly is.
And you get that little snap of the fall air, too.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah, you get that little bit of coolness, which I love.
But by Monday, we're going to be hot again from the sounds of it. But
Indian summer, Indian summer.
yeah, well,
Okay, what's on your mind there, caller?
well, I don't have much for mine, but I missed the first part of the program, so I'm not sure if you discussed this or not, but how long has there been a Chamber of Congress, or Chamber of
Commerce.
in Barcelona?
I can't give you an exact date. It's a little before my time. I've only lived in the county a little less than 4 years. And it's been around at least that long. From my understanding, it probably predates me about 10 to 12 years.
Oh, okay, because I've lived here a long, long time, and I didn't even realize there was a Chamber of Congress down there, of Commerce.
Well, they're part of Westfield, too, you know. It's
Right. It is the Westfield Barcelona Chamber of Commerce.
Okay. I must have misunderstood then.
well, I'm glad we cleared it up.
Yes. It's nice. Then it's probably a little bit even longer than that, but it is good to have one, I believe, because we need all the commerce we can get right now.
Absolutely.
Because jobs are important, very important.
That's the way it is all over.
Yes, you're right, all over.
Yeah, okay. Well, thank you, caller. Send me a stamped envelope. I'll give you $5 off at the Lakeview.
Thank you very much.
And Doc's, either one. You know, there are 2 restaurants down there.
That's right.
I know you're competing with them a little bit.
Oh,
It's you know, a couple of guys who had knew nothing about restaurants bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And one is a college professor, and the other one's a professional architect.
Right, well.
And they started it up. It seems to be doing pretty well. And then they
That's
bought out their Doc's next door, and they have fish there. You have Asian fusion, right?
We don't,
Similar.
actually. It's a fusion of,
Fusion of what?
Italian, Spanish, and
Italian,
South
Spanish,
American
and
foods.
South American, not really Asian.
No. Little touches of that, but not a whole lot. Right?
So it's Italian, Spanish fusion. What's it like to be doing this? You know, here you are.
It's terrific.
Do you have a background in restaurants?
I do.
Okay.
I've been doing this for nearly 20 years.
Well, you said you came in a few years ago to Westfield.
I did.
Where were you before?
Los Angeles.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What brought you to Westfield, New York from Los Angeles?
Well, the daughter I spoke of earlier, I didn't want her to grow up in LA and wanted her to have the opportunity to be in an area like this, a small town where...
A beautiful little area like Westfield.
That has parks she can safely play in, and good people around, and good schools, and...
Well, you must have had friends here, or you must have been here.
Didn't know a soul here. Never been here before in my life.
You just drove up and said, here's Westfield.
Found a map and threw a dart. No, we had a business associate in Cleveland. We happened to be there and got into a discussion about looking for a small town to move to, and he sent us to a couple of places not far from there, and they weren't to our liking, but we drove around a little further, and found Chautauqua County and drove